Happy to be back.
Yes.
I love my students here. I love the people here. It's been too long. It's been 2 years too long.
I know. And we're always so happy. We're looking forward to always having Ivana with us. It's always a privilege. How has it been for you being back here in Manila? The difference then and now?
Well, I decided, I think everything whenever I go to a country, I always bounce in and bounce out. So I arrive in time to teach my class and then I leave the very next day. Now, just a testament to the fact that I like being here so much and the people here, I'm actually giving this, like, was it 10 days here? 10 days. 10 days, you guys. I never do that. So that's a testament in itself because I just don't have the time with all the workshops in the schools that I have all over the world.
Ivana attended the ABS-CBN ball. How was it? I saw your gown.
I know, it's so
you
beautiful.
look lovely.
Carrie Santiago made it for me, and it was so gorgeous, and just like I felt like a fairy princess. I felt so like royal, and the dress not only is beautiful, and Carrie Santiago is one amazing, amazing artist, and I was pleased to be able to, and honored to be able to wear his gown. But I also was really taken by the fact that wherever we went, there were students of Director Carlos to say how much they appreciated his tutelage and his teachings that helped them become the stars that they became. And keep going. We were mobbed, literally mobbed by people surrounding us. It's like saying we love the technique, it's changed our lives. He's a brilliant teacher. He is somebody that he's by heart because he really understands the technique. But he understands it from a very fundamental place because it's really about empowerment. It's empowerment through the arts. And he understands that that's a statement that needs to be passed along to the public via our artists. And again, at the ball, we had all these people wherever, we couldn't get very far because we'd always be mobbed by these actors that had started with nothing, came to his school and was taught by him, and using the Chubback technique. He's an accredited teacher, the first one in the Asian community, I must say, and started the ball rolling because there's a lot of things going on in the Asian community because of your beginnings of doing this. Are now, they own property, they're rich, they're doing really well, and spreading the good word to the public that their dreams can come true too. And that was, I would never have known had I not gone to this wonderful ball that was, first of all, exquisite and beautifully put together, but to have like us walking and the beautiful, wonderful, young people coming up to us and telling us how much they really appreciated the school and how important it was for them to be educated in a way that allowed them to have the success that they now enjoy.
We started the master class here in Manila. Was there already an understanding that you would be coming back every year, or did Director Ryan have such powers to actually make you come back year after year?
I found that the first experience here, to watch the magic of the first work, to seeing how it found its way to the second work, where it was like, it felt like it was miraculously magical to see the changes. I felt that the talent base was so available and accessible, and this is the kind of thing that motivates me and inspires me. So I not only wanted to come back, I needed to come back because I'm inspired. That's something that creates me, just like we were talking about 2 years ago, it feels like yesterday. I feel like I just returned back to LA and then came back because I feel like I'm at home. And the actors that I've been working with have been so available and open to me, that it helps me to be able to learn and grow as well. So I will be walking away from this third workshop even more knowledgeable of how to teach and how to empower and how to help help me be a better educator. Can't get rid of me, you guys. I'm coming back. So I was like, I'm here, I'm coming back, and then I'm coming back, and then after I die, I'll stop. But then I'll still try to figure out a way to come back.
You do learn even from your students, and this is going to be your third year learning from Filipino actors. Is there a certain maybe characteristic in their acting or a certain technique that you have learned that is, you know, maybe unique to the Filipino actor?
I just find that having done workshops all over the world with different cultures, like from the Russian culture, Israeli culture, Scandinavian culture, South American culture, culture from the UK, Italian, I could go on and on to Japanese. It's just there is no real difference in the human animal. And when we look at the science of being a human being, the bottom line is that we all have the same primal needs. We all need to be loved. We all need to have family. We all need to get our power back. There's certain primal realities that exist within everybody. There's also, really to me, really very interesting and fascinating is that everybody seems to have the same fears, the same insecurities, the same issues with their mates, the same issues of abandonment, the same issues of feeling not nurtured or feeling alone in the world, and on and on and on, just a human equation. That idea of culture really comes from how we manifest our needs. That's where culture comes in. Now, I studied when I was in school. It was my base of my technique is more from the sciences. So I studied behavioral science, I studied psychology, and I studied cultural anthropology, which is the history of culture. And human beings all over the world with different religions, different realities, different geography. And again, there's a primal constant that exists. So in terms of the human animal, there's certain constants that I apply so that it allows the actors from the Philippines or wherever to become universal, to be able to create a universal message, one that the world can relate to. So we're not just trying to make the best actors for the Philippines. But let's share the wealth, you guys. The Filipinos are really very humble, wonderful, generous people with strong richness of interior of history that needs to be brought to the world stage. Everybody needs to know that the people here are artists, or have something special to share with the world, and I want to be a part of that journey.
Question: how did you select them? Is there consideration for these are the stars to be built up very soon by the network?
Yeah.
Does that make them
mostly the stars or the actor participants were chosen by Tita Cory, by our COO, and it was deliberated by with Miss Mariol, the head of the Star Magic, Mr. M, and the other business unit heads. And most of the 16 participants are the upcoming actors, the lead of the new teleseries and all that. Yun po.
So it's safe to say that if you make it to that magic 16 list of students, you're probably one of the next stars to be born.
Yes po. And gagamitin talaga sila ng network. Yun po. Kaya sila nilagay kay Ivana and Chubback.
The venue of the workshop is Dolphy Theater.
Yes po. Ever since 2014, we did it at the Dolphy Theater po.
Yeah, but it's so huge to accommodate only 16 students.
Yeah, because we are also allowing some auditors, and the auditors will come from our acting students as well, and to some
Directors and writers.
Writers, and production people.
What has been the criteria for this selection?
Of the auditors?
Yeah.
Of the auditors?
No, I mean the actors.
The criteria for the actors, actually, the criteria should be, they're supposed to be acting already, and been trained by Nipo first. And then, of course, more than, of course, 60% of that is, they were chosen because they will be used in the upcoming teleserye, and may need po na ganun.
I think it's a point of like ABS-CBN wanting excellence. So it's not just popularity and having the popular show, because you can have that without quality. You have popularity without quality. And that is a testament to ABS-CBN that they want quality and popularity. And I think that's something that is worthy of applause, because they don't need to do that. And this is something that they've chosen to do because quality doesn't pay bills, but it makes you feel proud.
Some names, can you critique their works?
One of the things that makes my work so effective is the privacy of it, and the idea that people feel comfortable to not only reveal their dark, your insecurities, your fears, the dark places of who you are, your colors, but you have to feel safe in that environment. And Charlize Theron said it best when she talked about me on a TV show called In the Actor's Studio. She said, I learned more when I fell on my face in Ivana's class than I did when I did it well. And so you learn more always, in any circumstance, when you fall. And then you have to pick yourself up and say, the next time I'm going to learn from my mistakes. And that's what the process of education is about. It's like, you learn, you fall, you pick yourself up, you learn from those mistakes, you add to the information. And so for me to critique in a public environment is taking away the safety that makes my people grow so quickly. Because in every school I do all over the world, people do not talk about what they hear. Everybody's in a private community, allowing them the safety of being able to really explore the things that make them artists.
Did you see a marked improvement in the acting of those actors?
Absolutely, absolutely, like 100%.
Since you've been an acting coach for 30 years and some of the students you've handled have won Oscars like Halle Berry and Charlize Theron, would you say actors are born or made?
Well, it's the whole thing about nurture versus nature, you know, the whole idea of like what makes a person a person. Part of it is nurture, part is how you just talking just being a human being. Some of it's genetic. Some of it is nurture. That's how you are being brought up by parenting and by your siblings and by your connection to your peers. So it's really the same thing, nature versus nurture. It's like you could be like innately, inherently talented, but not educate yourself in it and never really find any kind of acclaim. And you could also be someone who works really hard, didn't have the innate talent from nature, but worked so hard and are willing to take the risks of really being open and exploring growth to the point of taking huge risks in their forward motion, is that those are the people that will have great success and get great get awards and stuff. So it's like it's really part of like the journey of the human being themselves. You gotta work hard in anything that you guys do. When you want success, work hard for it and take risks. Be fearless and taking risks and choices of not only the material that you do, but the choices that you make as your interior choices. I just finished working on a movie with David Ayer. It's a soul food project. This is like, I'm on an NDA, so I can't talk about what the topic is, but let me tell you, I think he's going to be the next Godfather. And it's like, but he had all the, not only did we work on his part of like why this journey needed to be told by him and how he was going to profoundly benefit in his soul to make this project, but he sent all his stars to me too of the movie to be so that we're all on the same page, telling the same story together with his vision. And so everybody was sharing the same vision, having the same kind of like journey that everybody was taking together as a team. And it was a beautiful thing, and I feel honored to be a part of that. And so, and in terms of, you know, success and talent, it really is up to you to take that information and be able to do something with it. Again, in any field, working hard and taking risks and not playing it safe is a success quotient in anything.
That movie that you're referring to, when will it be released? This year or next year?
Probably next year.
Oh, I see.
They just finished shooting it a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is new. They finished shooting it, beginning the editing. He's about to go into another movie for Netflix, and so in the midst of all that, he's working on his project. This is his soul food project. This is his heart project, and so it's next year, sometime. But don't be surprised if it's not an Oscar contender. It's that wonderful.
Oh,
I mean, it was like hours would go by and we'd be working on it, and it'd be like that much time went by because it was just inspiring. It was an amazing, like, you know, collaboration.
mm-hmm. Some of the actors you work with, like James Franco and Brad Pitt and Halle and Charlize, when they were starting, how were they when you first handled them?
Well, Halle was already a star, but not respected as a great actress. It was like doing the work that we did that made her, put her on a bunch of different levels up. I remember the phone call I got when she said that she was making the kind of money that she never thought she would make in a lifetime in one movie, off of the fact that people, when you get respect, when you really do something that you get respected for it, and you do the hard work. At Monsters Ball, for example, we worked 30 hours, and I went to set. You know, so 30 hours in my home where I privately coach, 2 to 3 hours a day, and going to set. So it was like this is the hard work and then really pushing the envelope, you know, kind of thing. Charlize Theron started from the very beginning, and she never had done anything. And I'm the only teacher she's ever worked with. And she was someone who was like, from the first scene that she did, she was willing to like take chances, and she always did. And she always worked really hard. So once she started working as an actress, what would happen, she'd call me from set saying, I'm going to be wrapped in 3 days, set me up with a scene partner, get me back on the stage. And then she'd call a friend of hers to work out, so she'd be double working, because that's how much, I mean, she was really into doing the work. Brad Pitt, the same. Brad Pitt wanted to rehearse so much. I expect 6 to 8 hours a week before he put up a scene. He wanted to rehearse so much, 2 to 3 hours a day, that he was complained about by his scene partners. They said, Brad wants to rehearse too much. He wants to rehearse every day, and they'd complain about him. Well, guess what? Brad Pitt's a big star. Those people, you're never going to know who they are. And it's the work ethic and taking risks. From the first scene that he did from a play called Tribute, he let his impulses, he allowed his impulses, he wasn't afraid of them. And so even though he was raw